Brian's Trophy Kids. My name's Steven, and these are my co-hosts.
Hi, I'm Pat Woods.
I'm Sarah McGrady.
I'm Pete Farley.
We're going to talk today about parent and child relationships in sports, something we've all found to be a pretty interesting topic of research. We've all got different areas we're going to talk about, and I think our buddy Patrick here is going to lead us off. Patrick, what you got?
Man, so here today I'm just going to talk about the positivity within the parent-to-child sport interaction. First off, I have, it's always good having parents there to enjoy the good times like the wins and things of that nature, and to console the kids when they lose the game. I always feel like it's an important thing to have the parents there. A lot of kids go their whole lives without having their parents there at the games and at the end of the games and things of that nature. So it's always good to have that. That is a positive outlook on it. Also, my next topic would be to have a parent there to develop your game outside of practice. I feel like research states actually that parents who actually help their children practice after outside of the scheduled practices and things of that nature, like at home just throwing the ball around or like playing catch and things of that nature. That's very, very good when a child's growing up to develop their games. Let's see, what else do I have? And having a parent there to actually watch them play the game. I know growing up, I had a bunch of kids, my friends, they didn't have their parents there at the games. And sometimes I didn't even have my dad there at the games, but a lot of times he tried to make it. So just having a parent there to actually watch them go out there and perform what they've been practicing for all week, and that's really good and just positive outlook on the whole topic. So.
Well, along with positives, there's always negatives, and I'm going to be Debbie Downer here. Research shows that parents who are very overly involved in their child's sports and their athletic ability actually put more pressure on these children, and when these children can't perform as well as their parents or even their coaches expect, they lose their self-esteem, confidence, and they never feel good enough to make their parents proud. These parents put these unrealistic goals on these children from a very young age, and they force these kids to, not want to say force, a lot of these kids want to play sports, but it gets to the point with nowadays, where sports are so important and so popular, and it's all about, becoming the best at whatever sport these children are playing. These unrealistic goals are pushing these children way too far, and there's actually been an increase in sports injury related, and not to sound very negative, but parents will push these children even when they are hurt, and it just lack of self-esteem and lack of confidence, and it even builds up anxiety and social pressure, and overall puts them in this negative mindset when it comes to sports. And research shows that nowadays children are quitting playing sports at even younger ages, and it's mainly because of these parents' interaction when they're getting way too involved.
Yeah, that's really important stuff. As we can see, there are good and bad sides to the interactions between parents and children in sports, and one of the specific relationships we can talk about is between the parent-coach and the child-athlete. That's a really special relationship. Maureen Weiss and Susan Fretwell, they're researchers at the University of Virginia, they did a study on 6 boys who played in a U12 youth soccer league, whose dads were also their coaches, and they had some interesting findings. Just like you and Sarah found, Patrick, there are some good and bad sides to this relationship. Right. The positives that the boys mentioned were that they were never late to practice, never late to games, because their coach is the one taking them. The coach knew them well. It was their dad, so he knew their strengths, their weaknesses, and he was able to really effectively coach them. And finally, it was just quality time. And that's, I think, what a lot of research has shown, especially your positive stuff, that it's good to just spend time with your parents in sports. They did mention some negatives. The boys mentioned that their dads would get mad at them more. They'd get more upset a lot more easily than they would with the other kids, because they felt like since it was their own child, they could take it out on them. And the sons felt like they would get most of the blame instead of the other kids. They would get blamed more for the mistakes because they were an easy target for their dad. Now, they researched with the dads as well and interviewed them, and the dads mentioned positives and negatives as well. They said the positive was to just get to watch their kids, and that's something that we've all found in our research. And Heath, you've got kids of your own, and just getting to watch them play, it's an enjoyable part of the game, wouldn't you say?
It absolutely is. And it's fantastic to watch them climb these mountains, and then when they do fall, to pick themselves back up, and just the overall interaction with them and being a part of what they're doing. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for dads and for families, and that was the other positive they mentioned, just getting to watch the kids grow and play in their sport. Now, there are some negative aspects as well. They said that they felt that they expected too much from the kids and that they were a little too hard on the kids in practice. So again, that was a study on boys soccer, youth soccer, and the parents, and we've actually got a clip here to show some examples.
Come on, kick butt out there. You're great. Hey, Sam.
Yeah? What is it, Dad?
How you doing?
Good.
Good.
Ow! What was that for? Jeez!
Did you just kick your son? Yeah.
So there you have it. So there are good and bad in the parent coach and child athlete relationship, a really unique relationship in youth sports. Now, Heath, you're going to bring us home.
Yeah, and what I'm going to look at, or what we're going to discuss, is there's the parent coach child and the non-parent coach child, and what is the difference between the two? And there's definitely some positives to having a child coach. And to put this all in perspective, the University of Michigan did a survey in 2014, and what they did is they reached out to find out how many kids are playing sports. And in 2014, it was 37 million. In 2016, it was 45 million. And so that just gives you an idea of what we're looking at when we're talking about youth sports. 90% of those kids are coached by their parents. And that's a staggering number when you think about that. 90% is a huge number. 90% of coaches are parents. And in a study done by Weiss and Fretwell, they found that there is a bonding process that happens with the parent who coaches. But they also found that with a non-parenting or the non-coached parent, there is also this bonding process if they get involved. And it's a more positive relationship with the sport and with the family when you have a parent who's coaching or even non-coaching who's approaching the situation in a positive manner. To that same effect, in 1999, Harvard's released a study showing that the same exact negative effect it happens with the kids when you have a parent coach who is aggressive, abusive. The negative experience in those situations, 80% of the children will not be playing sports by the age of 15. And so you take that 45 million down and you cut it down by 80% strictly because of the parent reaction. And in the same time, they found the same exact numbers for the non-coached, the non-parent coaches. And whenever they brought a negative process in the same exact study, whenever they brought a negative aura to the process, those numbers were 75% of those kids quit playing sports. So these are huge numbers we're talking about when it comes to the kids.
Yeah, absolutely. And some personal research we found, a lot of it for the parents is just getting to be involved, especially for the non-coach parents. They just want to get involved and be a part of their kids' lives, and what better way to do it than through youth sports.
I prefer that my parents, if I play bad, don't say anything. And if I play well, it doesn't really matter if they compliment me on how I play. I just I don't know, I prefer my parents to, not talk as much.
I get angry because it annoys me. I'm kind of embarrassed.
She tells me to get in the position that my coach told me not to get in. I'm like, well, no. And then she's like, get in your position. I'm like, no.
She just starts screaming, Valentina, run faster, make a basket. But I just start going slower every time when she says that.
Well, thank you everybody for watching today. Patrick talked to us about the positives. We talked about the negatives. Parent, coach, child athletes, and then Heath had some unique information on the non-coach parent as well. Any final thoughts before we leave?
Oh man, I think y'all pretty much said everything that you need to say,
Well, great. Well, thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time on Last Take.